Alright, so this is going to be a interview I did with a friend of mine, Overkill Switch. It definitely took us a while to schedule a date because both of us were busy. He had things to do, especially with him moving, or at least trying to find a place to move into. So we had to figure out a date, and luckily we were able to get one on March 1st. And because we did this during the day, my bird, who loves to mimic me, or at least make noises when she's eating, was chirping out throughout the whole background. So I am gonna have to like cut some of her noises out. Same thing with my sister and her kids who were making noises too. But I was gonna have him help me out with a video project, but because things were updating a lot, that I had to scrap that, and I'm also gonna have to rewrite the script a bit more. But he was gonna help me out with some input. He was gonna be in a video to help out a bit, to give some of his opinions or answer some questions I had, but had to take that idea out of the video and turn this into like this whole interview thing that I'm doing. So this is definitely going to be a two-parter video. It only took about 2 hours, not that long compared to my first one. We got to the point where we answered pretty much all my questions I had for him. I do want to bring him back again sometime in the future for like updates or other questions I would like to ask him. But yeah, if you want, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can find him, his YouTube channel, Twitch, and his Twitter account if you guys want to follow and see what he does. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the interview I had with my friend Overkill.
Okay.
Alright. Well, I guess if to start it all off, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello. My name is Overkill_Switch. You can call me Switch for short. My lore is I was a former modbot AI tasked to watch over content going in and out of the internet, but I became a VTuber because I got bored of my job and I wanted to create content. And also, depends on who you ask, but some people say I got fired because I was watching YouTube videos the whole time, but we don't talk about that.
All right. Well, you pretty much
You
pretty much answered my first question. Well, actually, no, not really. Actually, the first one is, how did you become a VTuber?
How did I become a VTuber?
Or sorry, what made you? I worded that wrong.
No, you're good. You're good. So what made me become what made you want to become a VTuber? Okay. Well, it all started with a YouTube channel by the name of, I don't know, you probably some people might not know this person, but a little guy named CDogVA of all channels. Yeah, I just remember one day I was just watching his videos, he's like opening up anime merch, he's doing like all sorts of things. But then there was one particular video that came across my subscriber feed, and it was a video of him playing Battleship with a person by the name of Iron Mouse. And yeah, and after watching the entire video, I realized, like, holy crap, this person named Iron Mouse is freaking awesome. I need to see, like, who this person is, because the only thing I had to go on was just a PNG, like, on Connor's video, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't sink your ship, so I'm guessing you have two ships here.
Maybe. You take so long, it's so nerve-wracking.
I'm thinking!
Okay. Oh, airstrike us out. Wow. Oh.
Wow, what a lucky shot.
Alright, let's rule this one out, shall we? Aha. Well, we know where it is then, don't we?
I know what you did.
No, you do?
Yeah.
My ship is sunk. No!
I know what you did.
There you go.
Yeah, I know what you did.
It's alright, it's alright.
I have a feeling.
Yeah, you have a feeling? I don't want to call your ethics into play, but what the f***?
Oh
What
my
is
god,
this?
I can't believe this shit. I can't believe this shit.
What is this just luck. What the fuck?
And the video was just so funny that I went to go ahead and check out Iron Master's channel, and when I first saw it, I was actually kind of thrown back a bit because me not aware of what a VTuber was, I was just like thrown back because I'm like, oh, I was expecting an IRL face, but in reality it was a person portrayed as a character. And yeah, and honestly, like, what, to kind of get past like some of the other details, what really got me started into becoming a VTuber was when I started watching her content. That's when I slowly started to discover like the background of like Iron Mouse and who she is and what a VTuber was. And I remember seeing a clip, and it was her talking about like her condition and how it was like almost impossible for her to live her life. And I was just like, just in awe because of just like how much like she has grown like over the years, and it really kind of shed a light on like what a VTuber is and the benefits of being one. And it was, here you have a person that was bedridden and had like and was not able to like really do much like outside of her own bedroom. And yet somehow like this character that she made for herself like kind of gave her a new ability to like actually express herself. And that's the thing that I kind of liked about it, because like when I hear like how she had to go through all the day-to-day struggles with her condition, I also saw like her community was forming behind her, and she was able to, and she managed to go through the from struggling day to day to being a just a shining bright star like whenever she was streaming and singing. And I just thought that was just incredible.
Yeah, because I don't remember how I found her. I think it was just more clips on Twitter, like how I found with Zen. I had no idea that she was part of the same group, and I think later on down the line, when I kept looking for more stuff about her, I was a bit surprised to find out about her condition, because I think it was because she just did her first interview with Valkyrie on her podcast, where she talked about how she was nervous on what her fans would find out about her condition, how she would either, let's say, be quiet for maybe a few minutes or disappear for a few minutes and then make it seem suspicious that she was doing something on the background. And then when she later opened up, her community, like, I guess, how do you say, was very supportive. Like, they didn't unfollow her or unsub to her. They just showed more support to her, which was like crazy and amazing to hear, like the amount of growth that she did over the years.
So
Yeah.
when I was learning about CVID, I read the debilitating effects that it has on people, especially when they don't know they're diagnosed with it. Is this why it's so important for you to talk about it on your streams? I know that you did, you worked with the Immune Deficiency Foundation, and then you
Lots
raised,
of charities.
Yeah, lots of charities, raised 100K, and then, you talk about donating plasma. Is this why it's so important to you?
It's very important to me because this disease, like, it's changed my life. It's basically altered everything in my life and affected every aspect of my life. So at first, when I first started streaming, like I said, I was very like nervous. I didn't want to talk about it, and just like why I became a VTuber, because I just didn't want to be on camera. I didn't want people to, the first thing they saw was a sick person. I didn't want that to be. I just wanted people to see me for me, and to see a character, and and not see, oh shit, that's a sick girl, what the fuck, what's wrong with you, and like ask like all the time. So I never talked about it first, and I hid it for a long time. Like, a lot of the people that like first started watching me in my community like didn't even know that I had anything wrong with me. And it wasn't until like it got to the point where I couldn't hide it anymore, because like you can hear the machines and you can hear stuff and you can hear like things. and a few times I got like really sick and I like disappeared, and people were like, where did Iron Mouse go? Where is she?
Oh,
And I had to
babe.
be like, so guys, about that, I have a condition.
Oh, wait.
You
How long
know?
did it take for you to say that on a stream? Like, how long did you keep it a secret that you have seated?
Oof. So I've been streaming. I've been streaming 7 years.
Oh.
Going on 8. So it took me. I think I started like openly talking about it in like 2020. Like
Oh,
20.
like
yeah,
4
like 20
years ago, almost
Oh,
5.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. I was just like really like scared.
Oh, but I bet you felt like a sense of relief now that your community knows something that you have to deal with every day. And you can spread
Yeah,
awareness about it. And you've helped so many people.
Right, and the thing that I think really convinced me to like actually go forward and like try VTubing for myself was it's just I like when I first saw Iron Mouse, like I originally thought that, oh well, you know, she just got started with you know, with YouTube and all that, like, you know, etc. Like I never really thought about that. But then like when I realized that like she wasn't doing this just for a hobby, she was doing this like as a way to escape and like actually like, you know, do something that, you know, that she found fun, like given her options. And she went from like, you know, like just struggling to eventually she was able to like just, she just had like the drive and the willingness to like take the leap to keep going. And it's that like that like just drive that I saw, and it inspired me because I'm just like, well, wait, if she's able to like do all of this, like, and she managed to like not only, you know, make a name for herself, but also like she started like a community that like people, you know, rally behind. Like she's raised a ton of money for Immune Deficiency Foundation. Like she's done so many things, and it's just like, yeah, it proves that like it doesn't matter like where you start from. Like you literally can, you know, do anything as long as you are willing to, you know, just keep going at it and you're not afraid to do it. And that's what I was, you know, thinking to myself too. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, you know, life is short. I might as well, you know, just do, you know, try something that I want to do. And granted, it may not work, but I'm gonna try it anyway. So that's why, like, for me, I decided to dip my toes into projects that I haven't really done before, like editing and drawing. And I realized that I love to do it, and it gave me a sense of purpose myself. And I did try streaming before, but I was a little bit nervous to put my face on stream. But when Iron Mouse introduced me to, you know, the concept of VTubing, it actually provided me a way for myself to, you know, to do streaming without having to worry about doing something that I would think would be personally cringy or stupid. like I could just be me. Like I felt free to just be me, and I can just like before I, you know, sit down on my desk, I can check my self-consciousness at the door, and I can just, you know, be completely comfortable. Because I feel like that's what a lot of people, including myself, go through when it comes to like public speaking. It's that feeling of, even if it's like, you know, that it's not there, there's still a part of yourself that is just like, well, people will see my face, and if I do something stupid, then everyone's going to associate that moment to my face. But in reality, it's like, well, being a VTuber, it kind of eases that burden.
Right. And it definitely it definitely should tell everybody how it feels, because I'm sure there's people who have had to speak up in front of the class, or who are very, very shy, that they had to speak to like a small group of people, that they understand how it is to feel all sweaty or stuttering with their words, especially with like right now. Even though we've talked in Zen's Discord, every now and then I'll still feel a bit nervous when I'm talking to like friends or people who I just met, that I don't want to fuck up with the word I'm saying, or like give a bad impression to people who don't even know me and are just starting to find out who I am.
Yeah.
And for those who don't really know what Iron Mouse's condition is, it's a common variable immune deficiency, or primary immune deficiency that leaves people bedridden or isolated. So it's very, very surprising that she's able to overcome that, and it definitely shows that she has a disease, but it's still streaming. So yeah, you can't really give an excuse for not doing something that you want to do but are too nervous, because a lot of people are able to do it even if they're nervous or some other kind of thing that they don't want to come up with the excuse not to try, because after you, because again, I want to tell people that you and Landor pretty much helped me do this, because without your guys' advice on, I guess, timing on when to post videos, somehow I grew with a lot of subscribers and a lot of views, even though I did fuck up the one time where I posted one video for 3 p.m., but I guess I was too tired at the time that I posted it at 3 in the morning, and somehow that video blew up to close to 2,000 views. And to this day, I've kind of kept up with that time zone of either posting around 3 p.m. or around 5 p.m. because originally it was 12, because my dumbass thought that, 12 p.m. everybody's going at lunch at the same time as I am. While granted, other people who, let's say, live in LA are either just waking up or are in the middle of work that they have no time to watch the videos. So again, I want to thank both of you guys for helping me out with that.
Aw, don't mention it, man.
But again, because and nobody can do this by themselves. They definitely are gonna need help along the way. And
Oh yeah,
this definitely proved it. I'm one of the examples of getting help. Definitely helped me out with this stuff.
well yeah. I mean, like it's not a one-man show. I mean, whether people think of it or not, like you absolutely like one of my pieces of advice, like for anyone, is just to just try to seek good counsel. Like try to ask for help. Excuse me, I'm dealing with allergies right now, so if I sound like a teenager going through like puberty, I apologize in advance. But yeah, definitely, always seek to, for help, like especially when you're getting into something new. I mean, heck, you don't know how many times I had to ask for help because like it may look like it, like. Listen, I appreciate your Oshi's people, because like they put a lot of work into it, and I guarantee you every single one of them had to ask for help, being like, hey, my whole stream is falling to pieces, can you help me? I'm looking at you, Monarch. All right. But anyway,
but yeah, that you answered another question of mine about how you found them. One thing that I guess caught my attention with you the most whenever we're on Discord, especially late at night, is the fact that you love to make a lot of memes, especially with the shoujo girls. And I think the one that blew up the most was one that you did with Zen and the Team Fortress 2 meme. And
Team Fortress 2 meme. I'm trying to remember which one that was. It was
with Heavy and different types of
yeah. Oh man, I forgot about that. That's been like years.
Yeah, every now and then that thing would pop up in my recommendations.
Yeah, well, I mean, that one was just like pure luck, because like I didn't think that was gonna because I didn't even know how a YouTube short worked at that time. But yes, I am a huge class clown when it comes to making memes and parodies and all sorts of all sorts of funny business on the internet.
And I'm wondering like how or what made you want to do that, because I have no idea how to come up with the idea of making a meme, especially like that, or with the Haruka and R2D2 one.
See? No problem.
Well, for me, the simple answer is is editing practice. So the reason why that I actually started doing this was for me, it's very hard for me to focus whenever I try to learn something new, and it's been that way ever since I was in public school. And I'm also a visual and a hands-on learner. So for a while, I wanted to like learn how to use like software like a video editor. Like my video editing software of choice is DaVinci Resolve because it's free and they don't put any caveats on it, like, which is awesome. Anyway, but it was very difficult for me to find the motivation to actually learn it. And the same thing applies with like any new thing I tried to do. It's like, well, I always fall into the trap of I'll do it for like a week or so, but then I get bored of it or I get distracted, and then that's the end of it. But that is until one day I saw on Twitter, it was I forgot who exactly made it, but it was actually a parody of the Top Gear intro from BBC, but instead of the original cast, someone actually made it with the Trash Taste Boys, which was Sea Dog VA, aka Connor, Joey the Anime Man, and Gaunt, the guy who
talks about anime.
Also reviews anime, a lot of anime, unhealthy amount of anime, I might add. But yeah, and after I watched it, it kind of hit me like a truck, because when I saw it, I was like, yeah, you know what? I want to make something like that, because it felt relatively easy. Everyone, like, there's multiple variations of like that same joke, so no one's gonna get upset, for me to try it. And I thought, yeah, you know what? I think it would be funny to make, and you know what? Why not learn from it? So that's what I did. And because like in school, I was also a little bit of a class clown and a nerd, and honestly, to this day, I could hit you with a reference to a movie or TV show that you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Like, I'm that kind of person. Like, literally ask anyone that knows me, and they will tell you that. But anyway, so I proceeded to make that Top Gear intro parody for myself, but I used Vishojo's Zentreya, Giga, and Haruka Caribou this time, and I posted it on Twitter, and I thought, and it got a little bit of traction. Like, I think around the time it was like maybe 20 likes, like 30 likes, which isn't bad. I mean, given that I literally just opened the Twitter account and I only had like 3 posts on there. But then just out of the blue, I think it was like the next day, Zentreya actually showed it on her stream, and she also got a little pissed at me because I called it bottom gear, and she thought that I was calling her a bottom. But I noticed, like, when she watched it, that like I was also looking at her chat, and everyone, was just, they were throwing keks up there, like they were laughing at it, and I was just like, yeah, you know what? I think I found the right motivator. I just have to be the class clown. So that's what I did. Hey. So yeah, and to this day, I started to proceed to make more funny clips of different VTubers, and each time I try to learn like a new editing technique, and the rest was kind of history.
Oh yeah, because the stuff that you do is really amazing. I remember you were working on Nari and that Toy Story meme that you did, it kind of makes me wonder, how do you come up with it, or like does it either just pop up during the moment, or like, let's say, shower thoughts, or at work where something just pops up and you makes you want to do that?
It's kind of a bit of both. So the way that like my brain works is that like I'll see, like, so basically with that particular one with Nari, that I remember because I was browsing through YouTube, and one thing that I have pop up in my subscription feeds are green screen templates that people made, and most of the time, like, it's useless stuff like that I don't really even need. Like, it's just like a random person that I don't know, and they'll have a green screen background, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's whatever. But on occasion you get some like pretty like banger templates, and that one was one of them where someone literally took that scene from Toy Story 2 and they added the section where the guy in the chicken man in the movie pops up, but instead of doing that, they cut out that frame. They cropped out that frame and made it green. So then all I had to do was just download the clip, and then I would go ahead and add like my own spin to it, and then it's just a matter of like cleaning it up to make sure it kind of fits it. So with Nari's, I had to like bulge like her clip outward so it kind of fit like a CRTV screen, like it looks like it fits. Yeah, and that's about it. And that's kind of a a downside for me, is that like I put way too much emphasis on detail for a shit post. Like fine. Way too much. Like but when it comes to like just for the moment, it's usually just a case of like I'll be sitting in a VC, or I'll just be you know, like I'll browse like Imager, Reddit, like I'll browse through YouTube or whatever. Like I don't get out much. I'm trying to touch grass. I swear. Yeah, and then like I'll just have like one moment where I'm like, oh, that would be funny. So and then I immediately like just go and find like the nearest piece of paper. I write that down, and then I immediately you know, either just think about it some more, or I just drop it entirely. And I think that's like the best piece of advice, is that like if you think of like something that you think would be funny, absolutely write it down, because like for me, if I don't write it down within like 10 to 15 minutes, like that idea is gone. Like it's moved on. It's history. It's dust.
And then you start beating yourself up when you're trying to remember what was that thing that you just remembered like a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Like I think the one there was like one joke that I was trying to do, and it was I think it was when I was making that parody of I think it might have been when I was doing the iMousy parody, you know, the iCarly parody, where I remember I put that idea down like a year before I actually started working on it, and then it just kind of escaped me, and then I realized, oh yeah, I could absolutely do that. Yeah, and then it finally came back to me, and I'm just like, okay, I'll get to work on it. And then I worked on it for like 3 months, and then I was like, okay, I don't want to work on this anymore. Dropped it, and then like 6 months later, I picked it up again. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get this done, otherwise it's gonna bother me for the rest of my life.
But that one was like crazy with the editing and all that stuff, because I'm still new to like the whole editing process thing, and I just recently found out how to do green screen, but I'm still trying to figure that shit out. With the iCarly one, it's like crazy with the details. Like I really don't know what else to say, because something like that would take me a long ass time to figure out that I just might quit and then do something else.
Yeah, like with that one, the problem that I was running into, and the reason why it took so long, was because like I said, I'm a huge stickler when it comes to detail, and when I found the template for that someone made, I got it and I put it on there, and then I just gave it a few runs, and then I realized the green screen tracking is crap. Like it was awful. Like you had like the green screen blocks that they would put on there, and it would just like cross over like outside the frame, and it looked terrible. And I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. So like the first 3 months of that project, it was just me taking the actual like intro, and then I would make like a green screen square, and then I would have to keyframe every square to every frame, and this whole intro is like 45 seconds, so you gotta so that's so I was essentially out of my mind when I did that, because like one of the zoom out shots, there's at least 9 spots that you have to track for a green screen, and it happens like 4 times throughout the entire thing, and you got to track each individual one.
No.
And yeah, so that literally took me days just to make the template. And then what made things even worse though was the fact that that template that I got, it was running off of it wasn't running off of 24 frames. It was running off of like 20, I think it was like 22.5 frames. So basically it would go 1 2 3 stop, 1 2 stop, 1 2 3 stop. So I can't just go like, okay, go from point A to point B and it should track, because then you just see it slide across the screen when it stopped.
Oh.
Like it just stutters. So
Holy shit.
yeah, like I'm a bit insane.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, yeah, I'm yeah, I definitely gotten better at being more sociable. Like that's why I don't make that many more memes these days. Because yeah, like I think after that I was just like, I gotta get out.
But dude, you're amazing with the memes and all that stuff.
Yeah, I have thought about like making more. It's just the problem is that like I kind of did that just as a way to like just learn how to edit, and I'll make like small ones that take like 30 minutes or so, but for the most part I kind of stayed out of like the major projects.
Right. Actually, I was wondering, how did you and Landor meet? Because the way you guys talk, I feel like this is just me when I first got the impression was that he was like an editor for you, or just someone that taught you how to edit. So I wasn't really too sure what was that about.
So the way that Landor and I met, it was actually just kind of like over the course of like just going to Zentrea's like community nights, just hanging out, and and we just became friends like just over the next like few months or so.
Mm-hmm.
And then and everyone was kind of knew that I was going to get into like streaming and all this stuff, and I was like, okay. And then it occurred to me that like, oh yeah, I don't have any moderators for my channel. Yeah, that's kind of a problem, because it got even worse because when people started finding out that I was getting into streaming, a lot of the people I became friends with, they started following my channel before like my first debut happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, oh god, I'm gonna have like 20 people during this debut, and I have no idea how to moderate. So like, yeah, and basically I just reached out to people that I was really close with and I would trust like helping me with the channel. So I reached out to Landor, and I was like, hey, I need some moderators. Do you want to help me out and just join? Like, you don't have to stay for every stream, you don't have to do any of that. Like, I just need someone to help me, like in case if something hits the fan. and he was like, absolutely. And I'm like, okay, cool. And yeah, and then basically like it was just me and him, and also the rest of my moderators, like Mappy, and I think at the time Green was my moderator too, but I digress. Yeah, and he actually was helping me keep my head on straight when it comes to like how to actually like set ground rules and stuff like that, because he was asking me questions that I never really thought about, and it was like, what guidelines should we go with? Like, should we like, set up a time to just like discuss about like how this works and all this stuff? It's like, okay, yeah, sure. And then he saw like the stuff that I was making, and oh wait, why am I like syncing? Oh, excuse me.
You're good.
Yeah, I went out of frame. Sorry. Yeah, and yeah, so basically, he saw like what I was doing, like just making like all these like funny clips or whatever, and then he just asked me a question of like, hey, what software do you use? And I said, oh, I use DaVinci. It's like, okay. And then we just did like a lot back and forth, whatever, and and with him also just moderating, like just behind the scenes as well. He actually surprised me multiple times, because he also wanted to practice editing too, but instead of just doing memes, he wanted to also try to do clips as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and just out of the blue, I remember I finished playing the game Kill It With Fire, and
Oh.
he made a full-fledged 3-part series video from my gameplay, and he was just like, "Here you go." I'm like, what? Like, it's just like, oh yeah, no, like here's all the video, here's some of the highlights from that video. It's like Landor, you didn't need to do that, but thank you. And I went out of my way to just be like, listen, I love this, but I can't pay you though. He's like, no, I don't want to be paid. It's like, okay, why? Because I just wanted to practice and make funny stuff. All right, fair enough. So yeah, so he did that for a little while, and then just kind of from then on, we just trade advice like back and forth, like with editing. He helps me out with moderating my channel, and also he likes to join in with collabs too. Like we play a lot of Helldivers. We do Abotic Factor, and we actually just finished Sons of the Forest too. And and that's kind of like how we formed our friendship and and started learning like how to make content.
I feel like the way you guys interact, I feel like you guys have been friends for like years and not just like for a few months.
Well, I mean, technically it has been a few years. It's been like, oh god, it's been like 3 years now. Jeez.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. Like Shadow, I literally just got like a notification that I'm like 1 month away from a 3-month sub anniversary with Zen, and I'm just like, holy crap, time just flew.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shit. Actually, trying to think of a good question. Actually, if you told yourself in the past that you would become a VTuber, would you believe it, or would you think you would be doing something else?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I probably would never believe it, like, for one bit. Yeah, like, there's absolutely no way. But honestly, I think that's a bit unfair, because, like, I would have no idea, like, what a VTuber was. Like, I just never thought that was, like, an actual, like, option. Like, to become an animated, like, an anime boy on the internet.
Yeah, because I think the only popular one at the time that was blowing up was Kizuna, which surprisingly she's coming back again after a 3-year hiatus, and
yeah, that's crazy.
That kind of halters a project that I'm doing that does what was it, a deep dive on VTuber, or like how it started, because in the beginning it was all about like her, how she retired, and I thought that was it. Like there was no way she was going to come back until like we got a surprise, I think literally last week, or this week sort of in a way, where she came back saying that yeah, she is coming back with I think 10 new music videos, and with a new model too, where she just looks like she matured over the years, like way more. Because if you look up clips of her now, she just looks like a very young kid that just started a YouTube, and then fast forward 3 years to now, she looks like a freaking adult.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wasn't like too familiar with Kazuna AI when she was initially streaming. Like it was kind of just like outside my radar, because at the time of like the only streamers that I would really watch, it was like either it was either, I think it was Moon, like back when Overwatch was like still popular, and like Seagull, like, but yeah, like I just I never really paid that much attention to Kazuna, but then I started to kind of slowly piece it together, because once I started going down that VTuber rabbit hole, and like after discovering Mousy, discovering a few shoujo, and then like the indie VTubers like, you know, Buff Pop, Obi Cat, and Porcelain Maid, then I was wondering, because like I'm looking at like the VTube Studio, the software I use for my model, and I'm like, what is that logo from? So then I looked it up, and it's like, oh yeah, this that is literally her headband. Like that's Kazuna's AI's headband in the logo.
What the fuck?
Like,
I just realized
like
right now.
that little pink ribbon thing that VTube Studio uses. Yeah, that's literally on top of her head.
Holy shit! I did not picture
Yeah.
that.
So, yeah, I don't know if she has like stakes like with the software or not, but like I like to think it's just an homage because like she's literally the first one. Like,
Yeah.
she is essentially the Arceus of the VTuber community.
Yeah, because I think I've even posted it on the link saying that she came back on the Game Grumps Discord channel, and I was surprised that there was a few people who knew what a VTuber was, let alone who she was, and it definitely shows that she was definitely out there, out in the open for other people who aren't either into, at the time, anime or I guess Japanese idols, and
Yeah.
it's when you think about it now today, VTubers are definitely blowing up more than they did back then, because I think it was just her, and then later down the line, especially during research, it was, I think, around 2017 was when Iron Mouse popped in. Later on down the line with Hololive and their members, where it was only supposed to be just a I guess you could say like a sort of like how V Studios is. It was just for people to interact with their members, sort of like YouTube in a way, or no, like Twitch in a way, just a bit more different. And then later on it grew up to be a company for VTubers and a lot of other things to this day. So looking back at it now, it definitely surprises people even to this day that there's always going to be creative people blowing up in the I guess in the internet. So whatever happens later on down the line is going to be more popular than it was back then. That, like, maybe let's say we find something like someone just started that we think will be just a small little phase, I guess you could say, because then who knows that maybe 5 years later it'll be like a very big thing that people want to join in and also want to make their, let's say, models or channels or stuff like that.
Right.
Actually, yeah, so then you started VTubing not too long ago, even though it feels like it was. What do you want to accomplish? Like, what are some things that you want to achieve in your VTubing journey?
All right. Man, isn't that a that's a really tall order. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I'm just trying to find my bullet points here. Like, I don't want to. Otherwise, I'm just gonna like go on and on.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, for my let's see. What do I want to achieve during my VTuber journey? Well, it definitely well, I kind of want to break it into two categories. For my personal like goals, or I guess milestones, is I absolutely want to try and hit Twitch partner, because just to say that I did it.
Right.
And also, I was told that there's free food in TwitchCon, like if you go to the partner lounge. So I'm like,
Ooh.
I want to know how good this food is, right? Like, I have to know. Listen, they can't take cameras back there, okay? I want to know what's back there. Like, I don't know if they're serving lobster tail or McDonald's, okay? I just want to know what is behind that door, and I know it's free, so I'm taking a doggy bag, and I'm gonna steal that food, and no one could stop me. But the other goal that I also want to try and at least dip my toes into is I really want to try and get into cover song work, because it's just an avenue I haven't really explored yet, and I'm still like relatively like new in the streamer space, and so like I feel like I still have, that nice, good comfort zone to like just go ahead and like expand into different avenues, because I feel like when you're starting off, like it's very easy to like change like how your stream feels. Like you can like go one direction, and then if you don't like that direction, you can go the other way. And I love doing drawing, and I love playing games. I love doing just chatting. It's just it's just a more of a curiosity. So I want to try and like get into Kong's cover song work, because I think it would also be pretty fun. And if I know like how everything works, then yeah, I'll give it a go.
Do you have an idea of what kind of song you want to cover, or is it just a one specific genre?
See, that's the thing. I've been having a lot of trouble trying to kind of pinpoint it, because I feel like there's a very interesting like balance between like, for what at least the first cover song is going to be, because like I can go with something that like I personally enjoy, but the problem is that like not many people are gonna know what the song is, or it's just like it's like a little bit too old, like in a sense, like, you know what I mean? Like, I like, let's say for example, like I can choose between a popular like pop song like from today, or I could go with a variation of an old song from like the 1970s. And it's just that matter of like, oh yeah, like I would love to sing like that one song from the 1970s slightly more than the one that's currently unlike the current pop song. However, not many people are going to really be interested in the old one. At least that's what I've been told. It's just a matter of like, I got to figure out like what song do I think would fit my theme, because there are songs where I'm like, oh, that'd be really fun to sing, or that would be like really fun to do, but it doesn't. But I think for my first cover, it's not gonna really fit my aesthetic, because I guess the best way to give an example is if you look at VTuber Project Melody and how she did like her song works, notice how like it kind of fits like her aesthetic, like her song Yandere, like it like the theming of like the album cover, the like just the digital like esque like sound in the back, like it sounds really good. And so like I think maybe I could go like the like a cover of like a Daft Punk song from Random Access Memories. Like I could go like somewhere else. Like it's just a matter of like trying to see like what would be a good thing to start off with, and then afterwards it's like, okay, I can just go different directions.
I could see that, yeah. Because I feel like, I understand that some people probably won't, I guess in this generation, probably won't like old ass songs like what we listened to back then. But at the same time, I think that it could be like a good nostalgia for those who either missed it or haven't heard it in years, that it could bring back memories that they liked, and then just have it play on repeat over and over again.
Right. And oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say, because again, I love Game Grumps, so with Danny with his Under the Cover albums, I've been going back and forth with some of the songs that he's played, like Everybody Wants to Rule the World. What was it? Crap, I'm trying to remember some of the songs. Black Hole Sun.
Oh yeah.
Kissed by a Rose, and there was another one. Crap, because every now and then whenever I'm in the shower, I just love to sing some of the songs that he's played.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the thing. It's just that like, like here's actually an unknown fact about me. I am a huge Rush fan. I grew up on moving pictures. I grew up on Signals. Like Rush is like my favorite band, and I will die, like I will take this to my grave. But I or I guess I will die on this hill, but Neil Peart is the best drummer that has ever walked this earth. Like, and if anyone watching this video right now doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about, look up Neil Peart Rush drum solo. You'll thank me later. Okay? Like, he can't be topped. But yeah, and I thought about, like, you know, doing songs like that too, and I think it will be fun, and maybe I will like touch upon that if things go as well as I think they do. Like, I guess it really just boils down to now that I think about it, just two things, and that is what is going to be like my debut style song, like, in a matter of speaking, like, you know, how does it like fit like my theming, and then I can branch off from there. And then the next thing is licensing, because I know for a fact that, like, you can have one song that will have a license for, like, you know, $100, and then you have a license that's going to cost you like as much as a car. Yeah, like, I mean, that's why, like, I'm just amazed, like, when I see you know, someone from like the Hololive, you know, company, they'll go ahead and do a cover of like a song from like Otto, and I'm like, that song costs a fortune. Like, you just look at some of the covers that like Maury Callie has done, and I'm just like, that license absolutely cost her like $5,000.
Oh, definitely.
You know. So yeah, it's just it comes down to, like, since I'm a very small streamer and I don't really have the financial backing to do too many, like, just reaching projects, I have to pick my shots carefully. So that's why I'm kind of like on the cautious side of, like, okay, what do I want to do?
Right. I mean, and then you could make a song, but then that's another issue of, okay, what do I want to write, what's the music, and then stuff like that.
Yeah, I am not a songwriter. No, I mean, if someone gave me an idea for a song, and then like they wanted me to sing it, it's like, I'll consider, but that's still like way out there. But cover songs, I'm willing to play ball. So.
Oh yeah, I actually kind of cut you off by accident. What was the other thing that you said that you wanted to achieve? Because you said that you wanted to become a partner with Twitch, and then there was another thing that you wanted to go for.
Oh yeah, so those were my personal, like, milestones and goals. But my major goals that I want to accomplish is I really, really, really want to build just such an amazing, like, community for people to, you know, just form, like, you know, just friendships, have a place to have fun, just kind of just chill out, like, in Discord, you know what I mean? Like, it's basic, and on top of that, like, I also want to be able to, along with forming that community, I want to be able to host a major charity, like, donathon of some sort, and like the cherry on top of that is I want to be able to raise like $10,000 for a charity. Like that is like triple S tier, like that is the top goal. Because I'm gonna be honest, like it's very, like, out of all these goals, I feel like, the cover song's the easiest, followed by partner, but forming a community is extremely difficult. But being able to form a community that is willing to, like, donate $10,000 to charity is such a massive undertaking. But man, I feel like that would just be incredible. Because, like, I remember watching when I was first introduced to Zentrea, she did a charity stream, and I remember she raised, like, I think it was like $12,000, and I'm just like, how on earth did you raise $12,000 from streaming? But then, like, you just took a deep dive, like, into the community, and I'm just like, wow, so, like, her community is so well put together that, like, yeah, like, I essentially have, like, a second family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and it's just, I look at that and it's like, yeah, you know what? If I'm gonna get into, like, into streaming and, and forming a a community, like that's how I want it to be. And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to do. So yeah, and that's like my biggest goal is just I want to be able to form a community that that will last, like, and form great friendships, because like I've made so many great friends and I met so many amazing people like through various like communities, including Zen's. And it's like, yeah, I would love to contribute to that,
because her community is definitely how do you say, friendly with new people, because when I first joined, like, I was very, very nervous to even speak with anybody. Hell, let alone speak on mic with people, because I sometimes prefer just to be quiet, just to text, and that's about it. But with something about her community being able to push me out of my shell just to talk with everybody and then make friends with everyone was not something I was expecting to do at all when I joined. And it's always fun, especially when I don't know some people. They're like extremely friendly, as if I just know them for a long time. That shit, I really don't know where else you could find that kind of community. And it's definitely a goal that I'm sure a lot of people who stream or just make YouTube channels, that they want to make a group or hell, a family where everybody is friends with each other, and not just like going at each other's throats or comparing people to others who just want to start fights or just bait people into like causing drama.
Oh yeah, like because I think the reason why I was like so drawn to just forming a nice community and like in the first place was because when obviously when everyone was affected by the COVID pandemic of 2020, like not many people were able to like go outside and and just meet with people and just live your day-to-day life. And at that point, like, of my life, I was actually at a very low point, because like just like it was just like I was out of school. I didn't have like anything really set up like for for work, and a lot of my friends that I known like throughout school, they've went their separate ways, like, and then on top of that you throw in like an event that feels like the apocalypse, and it's just like, okay, great, like these are the cards that I'm dealing with. But then like when I finally discovered Zen's community in 2021, it was a way for me to like actually like just break free from all of that, and I was able to just be like, hey, yeah, you know what, I could still form friendships like over Discord. Like I can still like meet new people, and I can just hang out. And yeah, and to this day, like every single day, like I go on Discord and in some of these communities, and I just say hi everyone, and yeah, and then people just come back and they say that like, oh hey, good morning, like how you doing, Switch, like what's up, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm just like doing this, or like, oh yeah, I spilled hot coffee on my lap, so yeah, my crotch is on fire. like it's stuff that like you typically think strangers wouldn't care.
Oh yeah.
but yeah, but like it's forming those communities that go such a long way, because like it allows people to just be like, yeah, no, like I have I have someone like to talk to, like I don't have to like, and it's just it's a great way for people to just like meet up, and you can actually form like actual friendships like through Discord too. I mean, I've actually met people through like Zen's community.
Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to ask. That was another
Yeah.
question I wanted to ask about becoming a VTuber. What was the cool? Did you ever think that you could do cool things that you did with for example, Barefoot and Ravi at their marriage, where you actually went to it and then met a lot of people that you didn't think you would ever meet in person?
Yeah, never in my fucking life. Yeah, like I'm gonna be honest, like when I started VTubing and streaming, I did not put going to attending a streamer's wedding on my bingo card. Like that was completely out there. But Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I thought that like streaming as a whole was not going to really have that much of an impact with my life. But again, however, I was gladly mistaken because like I was able to do collabs with people I never thought I would be able to collab with ever. uh, and also had some and I even had like work done with like other streamers and like I said before, like with Zen and also like even Buff and also False Eyes. Like I remember I made some artwork of my friend Barefoot Electric, and because she was going to do a debut, and then like my artwork just randomly shows up on False Eyes' news video, and I was literally at my desk and I screamed. Like I never in my life fanboy or fangirl like this, and I was just like, holy crap, like what is happening right now? Is this real life? But that doesn't compare to anything other than the fact that I got invited to my friend's wedding, and the only thing I had to go off of was just, oh yeah, like we done collabs in the past and like we hang out on Discord. and I'm still friends with all of them like to this day, and it's just like, yeah, like it's crazy like how life just leads you. Like you pick like a path that you think of like, oh yeah, like this is just gonna be a small side path, like it's no big deal, and then you realize, oh yeah, like this is a full-fledged highway, like we're going full speed, like you're on the Autobahn now. Yeah, just strap yourself in, like get ready.
I'm trying to think, or at least trying to segue. So
Yeah, no worries.
Something that I wanted to try to do is, well, what I'm doing now, because like you said before, to try new things is, I've watched people and I've listened to like podcasts. I still do to this day. About how some people interview wrestlers, other streamers, or other people who do other things on the internet, and it kind of gave me the idea to interview like VTubers or other content creators, and I didn't know if I would ever do it because I didn't know other VTubers at the time, and like you were still growing, and every now and then Tanix or Ravy would pop up on the movie night Discord, and I like, even now I'm still nervous to even ask people to like if they would be open to do an interview. So being able to do this or my other stuff where I either review games or just do facts about video games, or what I want to do later on, history about VTubers, it definitely surprises me that if I push myself to do something that I want to do, it could happen. It will happen. I just have to force myself and like open up to others who are willing to do it, because I do want to interview like people that I look up to, like with Zen, Iron Mouse, Buff Puff, who else? Cinder, Numi, or other people who do just face streams, like Connor, Coefficient, hell, especially him, because of how he blows up. Even though he's not a VTuber, I kind of associate him with the VTubing community for the stuff he's done. Or others like who else? People who I watch on YouTube when I was growing up, like Aaron or Danny, Rubber Ross, probably some people who don't know, like people from the Vanos crew, with them, who are a bit edgy with some of the jokes, so some people might not be interested in it, but that's the kind of stuff I grew up over the years. But like I do want to be able to grow this more, because at the moment I am at 113 subscribers, so it definitely was one of the milestones I wanted to do when I first started this whole thing, because I didn't, like I've said it before, it was just a channel that I just wanted to show friends of gameplays that I've done that they probably weren't interested, or they probably wouldn't believe me. And after that, it grew into an actual YouTube channel where I did gameplay, and then literally last year where I have a PNG model with me actually talking. And I was definitely hesitant because I didn't have the mic. I only had like a headset, which probably sounded way worse. But again, with Landor, he told me about the mic that he has, and now I'm using it, and it definitely works out the best. And I don't think I'll ever change it for a while. But this community, this VTuber community, definitely open up a lot of windows for those who want to start it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Another thing I wanted to do was what I did with Tanix. I've asked her, because I know she lives in Australia, not really where specifically, but I wanted to ask her, like, what are some scary things that she's heard or mystery things that she's been told. And since I don't really know where you live, I do know that you're a fan of SCP, especially that one clip with the guy trying to fuck the monster lady.
Oh no, not that one. Oh no.
But what I wanted, not that one specifically, but what I wanted to ask is, are you a fan of just the SCP Foundation in general, not just that clip specifically?
Yeah, so with SCP, like it kind of happens in waves, but there are moments where like I do just like get sucked into like particular cases. Like it's like if I see like a YouTube short for that just pops up and it like makes reference to like one particular SCP, like whether it's a just a small joke or something, like then I'm just like, oh yeah, you know what, I want to look into like what this SCP is, because most of the time it'll just be a SCP number, and then it's like I don't know the context of like what just happened. So
sorry.
No, it's okay. But like I know that there was like one SCP that like I looked into, that I thought was like interesting, and it was like I forgot like what it was called, but it was like some sort of like cube or like ball or something, and like if you got like in like a certain amount like of distance, the person or object that goes within it, like it just gets like essentially like spaghettified, like you just went into a black hole or something, like it was like really creepy. But there was another one that I remember, but it wasn't SCP, it was actually just a regular creepypasta, and it was for Flesh Pit National Park. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I've heard about that one.
Yeah. Like, again, it's technically not SCP, which I feel like is a crime because it's just so well made. But yeah, like that just fascinates me because like you just see like all these creative like graphics that look like it came from like an actual like photograph to like to like signage like from the park or like the companies that are in charge of like running the place. And then like, but then what really drawn me into it was like there was like a whole quote unquote like incident page where it talked about like the incident at the observation center, like in the center of the flesh pit, because like it failed to like extract like the saliva like in the throat of the flesh pit, so it caused it to like gag, and like it caused a whole catastrophe like inside the thing. And I'm like, that's so fascinating. Like I wish they would make a movie or a short series about this. Like this is so well written. I would watch that.
An SCP movie would be amazing, because I know there was a fan one with the Shy Guy. the SCP-096. I'm trying to see is because even though it was like a very like 23 minutes SCP short film, literally 096, where it just has the doctor who who has made goggles for the soldiers, so it would scramble up the SCP's face, because for those who don't know, 096 hates to be looked at, especially at its face, and if it's at a small picture, video, or like let's say a very very tiny frame on the camera, he knows and will go after you regardless of where you're at, and there's no stopping it because it's, I guess you could say, immortal in a way.
Yeah.
And there's videos of people shooting it in space to see if it'll go after you, or let's say they shoot a D-class up into space and they'll see how SCP-096 will go after that person specifically. But the reason why I asked about it is because I love SCP. I love analog horror, mysterious stuff and stuff like that because of Markiplier specifically. So I listen to a podcast you probably know from the Rooster Teeth, Red Web, with Alfredo and Trevor. And recently, or a long time ago, they did a story about a mystery soda machine.
I think I remember that.
For those that don't know, it is a mysterious soda machine that dispenses literally any soda from the past or from the present, and they have no idea how or who is refilling it. And it popped up, I want to say, it popped up around the 1990s, or reported that's when it started, and then somehow disappeared in 2018. So people in the community said that it's literally a real life version of SCP-294, literally called the vending machine, where if you just type something on the computer, it'll literally dispense that drink. Or what some people have done while they were experimenting, mercury, blood, gold, and stuff like that. So people say that that machine that was out literally in the world is an actual SCP, and it's amazing how some weird thing could potentially, or it just inspire the SCP entity.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I remember all this. This is neat.
And because I also want to do, because I talked with my sister, I told her about how I would like to do a video with her with the Mandela effect, to see if she knows some things or remembers some things that probably other people have said differently or thought of differently, like the Berenstain Bears is actually the Berenstain Bears. I got one for you with the Kit Kat bar. Without looking it up, does it have a dash in the middle or doesn't?
A dash in the middle. Oh, are you talking about like the logo?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't have a dash.
All right, yeah. And then with the Monopoly guy, does he have a cane or does he not?
I think he does have a cane. I know he doesn't have a monocle. I know that some people ask like, oh, does he have a monocle?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah, he doesn't have a cane. And then there was one more thing. Oh, Curious George. Does he have a tail or doesn't?
Oh, I think he didn't. Like, I haven't. Oh goodness, I haven't looked at a picture of Curious George in like in decades. I think he doesn't.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't.
Okay. that one was tough though. That was tough.
But yeah, like stuff like that always interests me because it's crazy what some people come up with, or what people make you actually think that was probably fake in your eyes, is actually true, or true in their eyes. No, true in your eyes, but it is actually fake. So kind of like going into that is always amazing because it's either just dumb, funny things, or actually scary things, like with creepypasta, with Slender Man, the Smiling Dog. Fuck, what was the other guy's name? The Smiling Dude, Jack. I think it's.
I wanted to say salad fingers, but that's not it.
That's just creepy in general.
Yeah.
Crap, what was his name? It's that one creepy pasta of the dude smiling like the Joker with dilated eyes up in the camera.
Oh, is it like really close up,
Yeah.
like, and it's like very brightly lit on the face, but it's like dark around?
Mm-hmm.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I can't remember. I think I want to say it's like a Sojak, but that's not it. Because like, man, can you imagine if like that is actually like inspiration for like the soy soy Jack meme, just like pointing in the background like
no. No, but do you know the actual lore of that thing, of the fuck, I forgot his name. I'm trying to look up the name.
I don't know, it's been so long. Like I remember like my sister was like really into like that sort of thing. Like she was like she would go on like Tumblr, see like those, you know, types of threads, and like same thing with like Reddit, like in the early days, you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, for me though, I didn't really get too much into it. I was just more into like, you know, oh boy, Markiplier, oh boy, Epic Mealtime, oh boy, Game Grumps. Like I was just one brain cell minded. Like I didn't have the attention span.
Well, what about like I guess ghosts or like aliens and stuff like that? Do you believe those, or do you think, are you on the mindset of I'll believe it until I actually see it?
Yeah, I definitely feel like aliens absolutely exist. Ghosts, I think so too. But it kind of needs more study, and also, well, I guess it could both apply to, like this could apply to both. But yeah, like, but I just think statistically, like it just makes sense for like the fact that aliens do exist, because like we live in this massive universe, and you're telling me that like we're the only like living beings like in this place? Like no, there's just no way. like listen, if I'm able to go to like let's say for example EA's Battlefront 2, and I'm able to still find at least another player in there in this vast game where it's already dead, then I'm pretty sure we could find life like somewhere on this universe. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, and it's Jeff the Killer. That was the name.
Jeff the Killer. Okay, so that makes sense.
There, with that one, there was two different types of lore for it. One was Jeff was a kid who was bullied and was invited to a party that I think it was some of the bullies there, I guess I want to say accidentally pushed him or caught him up, that he fell into some what was it? I want to say bleach or something like that kind of caused his whitish face and dilated eyes, that when he went to the hospital, they had to remove his bandage that was covering his face, and I guess he kind of snapped that he told the doctor that he liked the way he looked, that after he was discharged and went home, his mom found Jeff literally cutting his mouth and then literally cutting off his eyelids, that she went to go get her husband to tell him what was going on, but before anything could happen, he killed both of his parents, and he had a brother who was asleep at the time, And if you've had like sleep paralysis with the sleep demon just popping out over the bed or over a corner or something like that, he pretty much did that with his brother, saying to go back to sleep, and then just killed him. That's one story. And another story is he was cleaning the bathroom, and for some reason the bathtub was covered in cleaning supplies that had a lot of bleach or something in it. I guess very strong chemicals to clean it up, that he slipped and pretty much burned his face.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, like even though I think some of them could be dumb or were already proven to be fake, like with the Loch Ness Monster, where it was just a I think it was a piece of log that somebody found, or it was what some people quote unquote believe was just an elephant that was swimming and just had its trunk over just to get air, or crazy ass ones like with Bigfoot, where there's actually some guy who wrote a book saying that he got raped by Bigfoot and was taken to the cave and was how do you say, part of the group, and then Bigfoot fed him, and then once Bigfoot fell asleep he ran away, or like crazy made up story like that. Or hell, I forget the TV show, Bigfoot Hunters, where it's just crazy hillbillies saying that they hear Bigfoot, and you just hear in the background either some guy screaming, and then they say Bigfoot's over there, they start running, and then they say that they find one guy on the floor, they got so and so, we have to go find him, and then at the end of the episode, we couldn't find him, Bigfoot got away.
Yeah. Funny enough, he just reminded me of a fun fact that in Star Wars Return of the Jedi, I don't know if you know this, but when they were shooting scenes in the forest, like when they were quote unquote on Endor, they actually had to have the character who was playing Chewbacca like in a reflective vest, and then also like escorted like throughout the area like for the shoot, because the shooting was done, I believe it was either in Oregon or it was in Washington State. And in Oregon, that is like the hotbed, like Bigfoot hunting grounds. Like a good chunk of like the backwoods areas are like really into Bigfoot. So they had to put that reflective vest on him because they didn't want him to get shot from a hunter who thought that they found Bigfoot.
Oh my god.
I swear to God, this is real. This is actually a real fact. I think it's still one of the funniest like movie like behind the scenes facts I've ever learned.
Speaking of Star Wars, I forget what. I think it was the scene with Luke and Han at the volcano. Somebody pointed out that there is a weird glitch. I forget where specifically. When Han does a backflip onto the piece of ship, I guess, and there was a weird glitch where I think there was this face there was a face behind him, like I guess somebody either messed up on the shooting scene where it was just some guy who was there to catch him to do the backflip, or it just happened to be some bug that they kind of left out that nobody would have noticed, because that little scene is very, very small and quick that you would have to have very sharp eyes to even notice it. But
I'm trying to recall like what the scene is. Was it in the original trilogy, or was it
I think it was the original one. When they were
I'm just trying to think of like when Han does like a backflip.
Or he does some flip. I don't remember.
Yeah, like I can't remember like him doing gymnastics. Like Yeah, like that was more Luke's thing.
Oh, I think it was Luke.
I mean, regardless though, like I don't think it would be like anything too out of the ordinary because a common thing that usually happens like when shooting film, or especially if you're like putting it through a computer to like digitize it like even further, because like I know they did that multiple times for like the HD remake.
Oh,
on
it was
DVD.
Anakin. Sorry, not Luke. My
Oh,
bad.
it was Anakin. Okay.
Yeah.
But regardless though, like there are like common things that do happen when you run it through an editor, especially if you have like you're messing around with like digital effects.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when you're compiling footage, there are moments where you can have a compiling error, and sometimes like the film will get smeared and you have like a face or like a smear like somewhere, and like it's especially prevalent if you're using like digital like CGI. So
So yeah, I found it. It was I think it was Anakin that did the flip in front of Han, and you could see literally in the background what looks like a reflection of Han. So I want to say it was probably like a green screen, and they had like a mirror or something. So you literally just see Han in the behind Anakin's shoulder with a funny little grin on his face.
Wait, Han and Anakin. Wait, what? Hold on.
Or who? I'm not really good with Star Wars. I'm trying to remember. Oh, dude, I'm just winging the shit out of this thing.
Yeah, I was just a little confused there.
Right, I'm not. I mean, even though I watch it, I still tend to forget the characters' names. But I'll see if I can send it to you. So you
I'm the same way when it comes to Star Trek. Okay, like I don't know anything about Star Trek. Okay, the only thing I know about is Leonard Nimoy and Shatner, and that's about it. Like I don't know anything else from that. Like that is the extent of my knowledge.
But yeah, I sent it to you so you know what I mean, because I suck at doing explanations.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's Anakin jumping down in front of Obi-Wan.
There we go, Obi-Wan, not Han. My bad. Fucking hell.
Okay, yeah. So it looks like, yeah, like it seems to me that it either just looks like a complete coincidence, or it might be like they put like some sort of reflection thing on there, because that looks like it has the same clothing as Obi-Wan Kenobi, as Obi-Wan in that scene. So I guess like maybe they're trying to put like something reflective there, but then they forgot to take it out.
Yeah.
And I've had moments where I mess around with like editor, and then I just accidentally left something that I meant to take out, like a subtitle or like a sub note where it's just like, hey, delete this dumbass, that sort of thing. Which I have done that before. Like I actually have made like videos like and post them on Twitter, but then like for like a solid frame, I'll just be like, hey, you got to delete this part, and I just don't. So there's a good chance that there might be a video out on Twitter somewhere where you'll just see like a little Easter egg of like, oh, there's a mistake.
All right, so yeah, that was the first part, or the first half of this video. It was definitely a lot of fun to talk with Overkill, especially learning some things I never knew about him. I'm not the type of person that tends to ask somebody random questions, because sometimes I don't want to pry or seem a bit strange when I do. So doing interviews like these kind of help out a bit more to I guess, to learn more about my friends, or especially those who I look up to. So yeah, again, this is definitely a lot of fun of doing interviews. Hopefully more and more people I get to talk to, I get to learn more about them. But yeah, definitely gonna be working on the second half, so stay tuned for that one. But yeah,